in any way. He truly does.
Alright, I tried. I'm going.
Now, obviously, the
I reset the game.
recreate the story of Anne Frank and be
Hopefully that'll fix the connection problem.
prepared for these animals with no personal.
And I know I've already.
He has at least a sliver of
I know I've already recorded for 40 minutes, so
necessarily
this one's only going to be 20.
In my extremely unqualified opinion, okay, my official diagnosis for Cartman, okay, narcissistic
Oh, damn it! I didn't mean to select the job.
Okay, alright. Now, the actions of a narcissist can often
Screw you.
that of a psychopath. In Cartman's case, he cares about power, his image, and proving himself to others that he's willing to do whatever it takes to have power and adoration. Because of this, he often displays the same traits as a psychopath, but I don't think he truly is one. And as I'm recording this voiceover, it's actually starting to remind me of the real-life case of Luca Magnotta, or basically, Luca was also a narcissist who wanted fame and attention so bad, he was willing to do some absolutely horrible things. And I won't go into details here about what he did, but there's a great Netflix documentary on it if you're here to check it out. Because of this incessant need to get the things that he wants, Cartman often displays very similar traits to that of a psychopath, but I don't believe he truly is. Not to mention the fact that you can't technically be diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder if you're 18, so obviously Cartman. Calm down, bro. This clearly ain't no kid. Reincarnation of Satan. Into that category. Oh, and how could I forget? Cartman was literally turned into an obedient, respectful child in the episodes. Something that would be completely impossible in someone with ASPD. So, now that we have the diagnosis down, it's time to get to the bottom of what exactly caused this. A common topic that's brought up when discussing psychopaths and people of that nature is that of nature versus nurture, and or exactly how very, very good in this regard. Personality comes from genetics versus how much of it comes from how they were raised. It's generally understood that in most cases, it's a combination of both that determines the person's future actions. However, based on my research, true psychopaths are an exception to this. Having absolutely zero emotional ability or empathy for anyone or anything is almost always something you're born with. Cartman's traits, however, are much more in line with what you'd expect from a child suffering from severe trauma and neglect. So, that brings us to the root cause of the evil being that is Eric Cartman. The only person that has been with him since day one and has accidentally taught him he shouldn't care for others. And that, of course, is his mother. Now, it's no secret that Eric's mother is a bit of an enabler when it comes to his bad behavior. This is shown time and time again throughout the show, as she is shown to bend to Cartman's every will, as well as be easily susceptible to her manipulation. When I saw that one episode where Cartman wants to fake getting into the Special Olympics, so he wants to fake a mental illness, and if I win, I can win like $50. And Mom's like, oh, okay, then what? Now, normally this type of parenting would likely just raise a bratty spoiled kid, but in Cartman's case,
I see it did fix it.
mother is also very for the things that promiscuity. I got you. I know all the YouTube work will get past this incident. All of which Cartman is well aware of. This type of thing can be severely damaging to the mind of a child, unaware of what any of it really means, and it can easily twist and warp their own identities, which has been shown to correlate strongly with this behavior. It's also been shown many times throughout the show that Miss Cartman would rather participate in her extracurricular activities than, be a parent to her son. And she's well known for the art of schlorping. A few times that we've really gotten to understand how Miss Cartman feels about Eric, it appears that she uses Cartman more as a way to feel better about herself rather than considering that he's an actual person. All of these factors combined have taught Cartman that no one will truly love or care for him, that everyone is motivated only by their own self-interest. I don't know, I do feel like it's more than that. That'll make either a brat that's getting caved to or someone who's straight along, but his level of insanity based to come from the state of psychopathy. Like, I don't think that just because his mom Miss Cartman has accidentally created the most sick, evil, and twisted kid that has ever existed. And now, look at it. Here's the first thing. Then disappearance. We all have a better understanding of the psychology of character.
The roulette ball in this map clears away foam automatically when it rolls over it, so you don't have to worry about chasing it or permanent foam structures, or being crushed by it, as I have discovered through my own experimentation. And one thing I need to clarify, when I say experimentation, when I talk about discovering things or creating things, it mainly comes down to trial and error, which, in all honesty, is how the scientific method works. You have an idea, you form an hypothesis, you move on to testing, and then you get to the final product. By the way, speaking of having an idea, I'm putting out an announcement that I'm going to be making my own game in the future, based around my dream world, the Dome. I already have all the notes ready for the beta version. I just need help making the 3D models and doing the programming. And I'm also looking for voice actors that can help me with the cutscenes.
She then says a line that pretty well encapsulates the progression of Cartman's character up to this point. Later in the whole film, Cartman continues to pester Fizzy. This causes Wendy to lose her patience, challenging Cartman to fight after Cartman confidently accepts fostering for all the people around. As Wendy continues to remind him of his inevitable fate, the facade begins to break down. Cartman is able to convince the rest of the boys that Wendy is trying to get him to call it off, and he even goes as far as to pull her into the janitor's closet and lie to her about his mother getting breast cancer in an attempt to get her to feel sympathy. With that, he tries to bribe her with $27, tell her that he has muscular dystrophy, and tell her that his mom has muscular dystrophy.
My mom has muscular dystrophy.
Wendy reminds him once again that there is no way out of this. He is so desperate at this point that he's willing to do literally anything when he wants to.
Jesus Christ, you have no sense of self-respect? No, unless you want me to. You want me to have self-respect, then I will.
Of course he's willing to do anything besides publicly admitting that he doesn't fight. So in a final show of just how pathetic he can be, he literally eats his underwear in front of Wendy. This, of course, doesn't change Wendy's mind and just solidifies what a coward Cartman is. He decides to switch up strategies and goes to Stan to try to convince him to come into the game and to get Wendy to stop. He does so by pretending that Wendy is doing everything that he's doing.
Well, she doesn't want to fight. She just doesn't, and because she knows how to kick her ass, but she feels like if she doesn't fight me, all the kids are going to call her chicken.
When that doesn't work either, we cut to Cartman in class as the end of the day is really approaching. They do the thing here where the topic that they're learning about just so happens to directly correlate with what's happening, and it's just a bit on the nose. So after the talk, Cartman hears that Clyde has detention, and he
Yeah, we got some time left.
final attempt.
Why don't we check out the gallery?
So, in a make-or-break decision, he goes for it. Eric, did you just take a crap on my desk?
What's up? What's up? Clapped on your desk, Doug. What's that?
Damn! The commitment! Good try there, bro. Cartman is off the hook for now. He's in detention where he's safe. He makes sure to remind the boys that he didn't do it because he was trying to get out of the fight.
You know, I'm anti-establishment. That's how I roll, dog.
Yo, he like me for real.
Hardcore stuff like that.
He's feeling confident, like he once again got off scot-free. Until the boys tell him that the fight is rescheduled for the morning. If we're continuing with the bull analogy, it's kind of like the bull missed the first time, but now it's time to get back in charge again. Completely out of options, Cartman commits the absolute cardinal sin that all 9-year-olds are familiar with. He tells his mom. He works up some alligator tears in front of Wendy's parents and tells a sob story about his lack of friends and how scared he is of Wendy.
I want to be your friend because I don't have that many friends at
When her parents make her promise that she's not gonna hurt him, Cartman just can't help himself, knowing that he's got danger, and pushes her buttons just a little bit more. When Wendy arrives at school, Cartman is there at the meeting place, seemingly ready to fight, but of course, as he knows, Wendy God damn, what an artist this man! He's just making it look like she chickened out. You know what's funny is that if Cartman had just quit while he's ahead and just let it go and quit trying to get under Wendy's skin at this point, this probably would be the end of it, and he really would have gotten away with everything. And that's so wild. It's like, there's the point where you just push it over here. Sometimes it will take one straw to break the camel's back. But as I and all 3 gamblers know, you never support that. Cartman just can't help himself. The invincibility complex just grows stronger every time he avoids consequences. And the way he finds preventing people is just too strong. So, in class, he gives her what they're working on. And it goes exactly how you expect it to.
And like the victims of breast cancer, there's something I'd like to get off my chest.
Wendy is completely dumbfounded by this. Cartman has already beaten her, and he just keeps rubbing salt into the wound. She is completely and utterly helpless, forced to be tormented by Cartman with no end in sight. She gets called to the principal's office, where she tells the principal that there won't be a fight. Principal Victoria questions her on this, and transitions her questioning into what is one of my favorite moments from the entire series, where she reveals to Wendy that she is a breast cancer survivor and goes into a monologue about the harm that cancer can cause.
Cancer is pure evil. It is a fat little lump that needs to be destroyed.
Oh God.
That probably means your body needs
You
rest.
can't wish it away.
Cancer doesn't play by the rules, so neither can you. You have to be willing to give up everything, because the cancer will take everything. When you have cancer, but because it doesn't matter if you beat it or not, you refuse to let that fat lump take you feel power.
Bro, that's so unreliable. Oh, that's such a good scene. Said, this is literally one of my favorite scenes from the entire show. I get goosebumps every time I watch it. If you haven't seen the full thing, go watch it now. It is totally worth it. Wendy understands exactly what the principal is saying. Oh God, it's happening. Is locked in as she walks through the halls preparing herself. The part where she takes her coat off to reveal the unicorn undershirt goes unbelievably hard. When she makes it to the playground, Cartman quickly realizes that his worst nightmare has come true. The entire school surrounds them, and with nowhere to run, Cartman tries one last time to get out of it by reminding Wendy that he's going to tell his mom. Wendy is far past that at this point, and Cartman comes to the realization that all of his time messing with dolls has finally caught up with him. With everyone watching and nowhere to run, one of the most satisfying TV history.
Now I'll let this one finish.
To finally get the awards.
I know how you feel.
And given this is supposed to be the end of the Tonix episode, I'm going to say my outro. Thank you all for watching. This is Orc Chef Cooker signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh my God. As everything settles down, Cartman is left wallowing in self-pity and embarrassment. The kid who was once completely unstoppable, getting away with whatever he wanted, had finally met his inevitable fate. Despite suffering such a horrible beatdown, his delusions are still present, thinking that because of this, he's no longer the cool kid in school. The boys remind him that he was, in fact, never the cool kid, and their opinion of him couldn't have possibly gone any lower. He is able to somehow convince himself that they were saying this stuff because he is cool, and this makes him feel not as bad about the situation. Hey, whatever you say, man. Whatever you say.
Oh God, what do these? Yay! That's the miracle.
Did I mention that this is one of my favorite episodes of South Park? Watching Wendy being absolutely tormented throughout the entire episode just for trying to spread awareness of a cause really highlighted just how terrible Cartman can be. I think this is actually one of the best Cartman episodes because every time you think he is sunk to his lowest point just to get what he wants, he sinks even lower. There are 12 whole seasons of Cartman being poor, built up the desire to see him finally get some karma. With this episode, that's wild. This is a sick episode. That is how you take down a super threat. They take it to another level.